Good morning. John Gilkison here, Aerostel, and it is Saturday, July 4th, 2026. And I've been wanting to shoot a video on the longer term cost of owning electric vehicles. I saw an article the other day online about the 10-year cost, and I thought that's a pretty good metric. So I worked it up for our Ford Lightning, our 2024 Ford Lightning Flash, and our 2024 Ioniq 5, which are both in service now with us. And we're paying an off-peak electric rate of 4.72 cents a kilowatt hour to charge them. And we just got rid, in order to get the electric truck, we just got rid of a 2014 3.5 liter EcoBoost Ford, and owned it for 12 years. It was a great truck, but we only drove it about 10,000 miles a year because of the cost. And also I wanted to preserve it because I knew I was going to sell it down the line, and I didn't want to run up excessive amount of miles on it. And I still ended up selling it with 115,000 miles on it. That damn truck still ended up costing us well over $20,000 to operate, to buy gas over the whole time we owned it. So I wanted to work up some numbers for you on it, and the comparison truck I'm going to use, the gas truck compared to the Ford Lightning Flash that we own now, is my old truck, which I have long-term records on it, got 18 miles per gallon. And for a car, at one time we used to own a Camry back in the 2000s, and a Camry is kind of an equivalent car to an Ioniq 5. Essentially, they're roughly the same size and performance is what I'm getting at. And they're good for 28 miles per gallon long-term average. So I used these two examples as ICE vehicles. Okay, and so I worked up what it cost per year to operate them, what it cost for 10 years, what it cost for per month, and this is what I ended up with, which is, it's not very photogenic. It's just hard to do a video and talk about a bunch of numbers, which people, I can't even do it. I can't absorb it when someone's talking just a whole bunch of numbers. That's all I have. And they're spewing them out. And you need a graphic, and so I worked up this graph, and we're going to try it out, okay? And so bear with me here. It's still pretty primitive, but it ought to work. And my pointer. Now you may have trouble seeing some of this stuff. My shadow's causing problems. I can see that. Let me get on this side. Okay. What we have here, this red line here at the top is the total. These three lines here are ICE. This top is a total of both vehicles, both ICE vehicles, over a 10-year period. And this is the truck is the green one, and the car is the blue one. So what you have here is, it ended up being over a 10-year time period, the car cost $21,440, buying gasoline at $4 a gallon over a 10-year period. That's at 28 miles per gallon. And we're operating both these vehicles at 15,000 miles a year. And this is what we have done historically. We're driving two vehicles at 30,000 miles a year. So the truck, basically, because it only got 18 miles per gallon, ended up costing us $33,420 over a 10-year period. And the total of both of these vehicles, this vehicle and this vehicle, right here, is $54,760. And that's way up here. This is 10 years. This is the 5-year mark right here. And I think that's a little helpful. Over 5 years, the combination of both vehicles is $27,380. And it's $5,476 per year for both vehicles. And these bottom three lines right here are our BEV equivalencies. And this is the blue is the car, this green one here is the truck, and this red one's the total of both. So these ICE vehicles ended up costing us total over a 10-year period. It's going to be $5,990. That's just within a hair's breadth of $6,000. You might as well say $6,000 versus about $55,000. Okay, and the truck would be, the electric truck would be $3,640 over a 10-year period, and the electric car is $2,350 over a 10-year period. So the long and the short of this is, of course, you have to subtract these numbers out. And I don't have that on the graph here. But I think this really helps to see this really steep line here for the total of both. And this is a line for, and we're talking almost a factor of 10. In other words, it costs about 10 times as much. It's 9 point something times as much to operate 2 gas vehicles versus 2 electric. So here's what I came up with for savings. The 10-year savings for both vehicles, electric, as compared to their gas equivalents, is $54,000. $54,260. Okay? And just out of curiosity, the monthly savings is $407, and it would be $160 for the car and $250 for the truck. And that's going 15,000 miles a year divided by 12, which is 1,200 miles a month, I think. Something like that. So there you have it. Now there's other ways I could have figured this. Let me put myself back on camera to talk to you. And I did do it. Okay. And I didn't do a printout of it. We just bought printer ink today. But this is all based on that 4.72 cents kilowatt hour charge. And so what if El Paso Electric decided to get rid of that off-peak rate tomorrow and just charge us the normal rate of 12 cents a kilowatt hour? If they did that, then my cost would go up. And that's just 5 into 12 basically. It's right now it's 30% of what it would be normally. So it would go up about 2.5 times, let's say, roughly. Even so, the numbers I came up with, the total savings over 10 years for both vehicles, even at 12 cents a kilowatt hour, are still $40,000. That was the total savings. So I was absolutely stunned to see these numbers, and it's not hard. Anyone can produce a graph like this or a chart, for their particular situation, for their rate. And also, all this was based on $4 a gallon gasoline over that time period. And I actually worked it out for $3.50 a gallon average over the 10 years. A gallon, $3.50 a gallon. And still, what you ended up with is somewhere in that range. The savings were between $48,000 and $40,000. And I think it was $44,000 if we figured $3.50 a gallon gasoline. And you and I know gasoline's going to go back up. The market is for fossil fuels is declining worldwide, and the fossil fuel people, the corporations, are going to try to wring every last bit of profit they can out of it before they go out of business. And that's just reality, and they'll do what the market can bear. And the fewer people there are driving gas cars, the less say they have about it. You know, people have been upset in this country paying $4.50 a gallon gasoline, and you know the rest of the world's laughing at us because in Europe or even California, in this country, California, they're paying almost $6 a gallon gasoline, and in Europe they're paying several dollars a gallon. The rest of the world just pays half again to twice as much for a gallon of gas, or a liter equivalent, or whatever. And so we have it really good in this country as far as the price of gas, and the reason is it's heavily subsidized. That's how it gets there. And I don't know, the critics of EVs don't seem to grasp that. They don't like any subsidies for EVs, but they're willing to accept all the subsidies in the world for gas cars. And I don't know how you can go live your daily life, and if you actually understood this, the amount of money you're hemorrhaging. I mean, in a 10-year period to hemorrhage $48,000, you know, $4,000 or $5,000 a year. That's what it's costing you extra to drive a nice vehicle. Drive two of them. You can cut all these figures in half for just one vehicle. But most people own two vehicles. Most family households, you know, with a working wife or something, they got two vehicles. They may not drive 15,000 miles a year each. But still, this is a situation people find themselves in. And when fueling your vehicle costs 8-9 times as much as it would if you drove an electric vehicle, you're living in a fool's paradigm if you're driving a gas car. That's all I wanted to get at. And I hope you like I wanted to do this because I got this new whiteboard. We were at Goodwill and I'd seen it there, and it was $10 for this new whiteboard. And I have a whiteboard, but it's half again this size. It's probably only this big. And I said, you know, I can really put a large graph on there. Of course, I need fatter lines. I can see that right now, but I hope this helped. I hope it worked for you. And I'll let you go. I'm just astonished by this. It's just not comprehensible to me that very few people that seem to drive gas vehicles have any inkling, apparently. And if they did, it would be an actionable item for them. Unless some kind of politics gets in the way and they got blinders on. And so, there you have it. Everybody take care. And remember, stay fully charged. Bye-bye.